Yeah, swans.
Where's the remote from the TV?
I'm not sure. Maybe controls on the side.
What's volume coming out of the TV? Manny, can you talk for 1 sec? Just want to test the volume.
Yep. How's the volume? Can you hear me?
So turn it up. Turn your volume down. We'll just use the TV.
Okay.
Okay, try again, Manny. Can you hear me?
Hey guys.
Okay, perfect. So nice. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna get phone number sorted for her.
Yes, good.
So we can get her on a phone. But since we last spoke, Manny, did anything else come up on your end for just automation AI stuff?
No, nothing really. But maybe I'll just save you guys a little time here. I'd like to go through with this stuff. So I don't know if you did like a whole lot of research on our business, Youth Bar. We just opened 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we're only 3 weeks into operating. We're just building up a cash reserve. So we're actually in the process of right now getting a new commercial space. So we're renting a room right now out of my friend's clinic. So in about 2 months from now, we're moving into our own commercial space. We'll have 4 or 5 rooms. We're doing some renovations. So I'm in the process of right now getting a loan from BDC to do all of this. It's been approved. I got about a good chunk of cash coming our way. And through that, we're getting an operating line of credit to have some cash to do stuff like this with. So I just wanted to let you know up front, I love everything that you guys showed me the other day. Like there's no, I think it's pretty clear from just our one call that I'm a big AI guy. I've been an AI guy from day one since like we said, from ChatGPT. The thing that you're implementing, or hopefully you guys implement for us, it's just going to replace a person that I have to pay,
Correct.
I don't know, 25, 30 bucks an hour, but they'll be available to me 24/7. So I wanted to say that I want this. We need this, but just to be clear, we can't buy it for another 2 months.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Manny, if you saw what the sales cycles look like for our enterprise clients, some of them are still working on agents that we built for them last year. So for a small business, if you can say, hey, 2 months this will be up, that's gravy for us, because that means we can plan a process map for your agent before we even think about doing any sort of building or implementation, which means, I got a better agent when there's more time spent.
Exactly.
And usually agents end up being crap because the teams that are deploying them just rush the deployments and don't do any sort of due diligence, hallucination checks, guardrails, all that stuff. And so that's going to give us time for that. So if you're telling us, hey, we're going to get funding for this, we just need 2 months, no problem. We can do all the admin stuff, leading up to that, and then you can deploy when you guys are ready.
Okay.
But let me just get a phone number. In the meantime, Courtney, you can tell them the types of changes you made to Allison.
Yeah, so pretty much for Allison, I just went to the website and took out the basic information, like pricing, just the treatments that you guys offer, and just like threw them into her, trained her on them. So that's pretty much what you're going to get a demonstration of now. Obviously, for other clinics that we've worked with, there's like certain treatments that maybe can't be done on the same day, or if you get multiple treatments, there's an order in which they should be done in. So that's something we could talk about down the road, but those minor details won't be involved in this demonstration today.
Okay.
But she'll be able to you just see the normal conversation flow that she'll have, the ability to book an appointment, answer questions about treatments, just basic things like that. And then obviously down the road, if you want to change what her voice sounds like, a specific type of greeting that you want her to give or anything like that, we can do that too.
Okay.
Quick question for you, man. Do you guys have a customer list building right now or no?
Do we have what, sorry?
Customer list, like a lead list building.
Yeah, I do. It's massive.
Okay, like how many bodies looking like
sorry.
that?
What I say massive for all we operating for about 2 weeks, about 150 people so far.
150. Okay, so great. So how did you get those leads? Is that just like friends and family, or was that through a lead generation engine?
Straight meta ads, and I just have all their leads on through there.
So you have consent to contact those people.
And I have.
And with that being said, we might want to consider an outbound welcome campaign. Just send Allison out, give a whole bunch of people different phone calls, and then start from there just to get things warmed up. Just give me 1 second here while these numbers aren't coming up here. Here we go. Okay, ready for phone number?
Yeah, what's it?
As soon as it comes up, it is. Might take a couple minutes to actually attach. So.
And I should just share this, right? Yeah.
It wants to share Wi-Fi. It's so slow.
Okay.
You know what? In the meantime, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take Bella and we're gonna make it Allison and just call that number because this is too slow.
And Manny, I guess in the meantime, nice to meet you. I'm Ferris.
Hey, nice to meet you, Ferris.
Yep, Ferris is gonna be looking after other clinics as well, but Courtney is gonna be looking at Bella, IV drip, working. Prompts, changing Bella's prompts right now, so you're gonna call Bella. in 2 seconds. So prompts. Okay, Bella is now Allison. You have Bella's number there?
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Hey, you've called Youth Bar Medical Aesthetics. All of our calls are recorded for quality assurance and compliance purposes. How may I assist you today?
Hi, who am I speaking with today?
Hey there, you're chatting with Allison, the Youth Bar Service Specialist. How can I help you out today?
Hey Allison. You know what? I've just been feeling really like tired as of late, and my skin kind of doesn't have the same type of glow. What kind of services do you guys offer for that?
Oh, I totally get that. We've got some awesome options to help with.
Does she sound like a mouse? Are you hearing a mousy voice there, Manny?
A little bit.
Okay, so that voice, I don't know what that's from. It's probably one of the speakers coming out of the TV.
Yeah, it is.
Do we still have her on the phone?
Hey Allison, you still there? You guys try to turn off your
Yeah,
camera?
Wi-Fi is messing up.
Yeah.
Call her back.
Sure.
We're using Wi-Fi calling, so we got like 4 or 5 laptops in this room, pretty much taking up bandwidth.
Gotcha.
So generally, phone carriers don't do Wi-Fi calling, so it's a little slow.
Yeah.
And the one thing about these agents is you don't even need the internet for them to work. So like even cities are looking at this as something for an emergency line, but for you guys.
Hey, you've called Youth Bar Medical Aesthetics. All of our calls are recorded for quality assurance and compliance purposes. How may I assist you today?
Hey, who am I speaking to today?
Hey there, you're chatting with Allison, the Youth Bar Service Specialist. What's your name?
My name is Sean. How you doing today, Allison?
Hey, Sean. I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. How about you? What can I help you with today?
I'm doing pretty well. I woke up this morning feeling a little bit tired, and my skin doesn't have the same type of glow it used to. I just wanted to know if you could, bring back that energy and that glow for my birthday this weekend.
Oh, I totally get that. We've got some great options to help you feel refreshed and glowing for your birthday. Our IV hydration therapy could be just what you need. It can boost your energy and give your skin that radiant glow. Would you like more details on that?
I would. So, like, if I were to get that treatment, like, how soon would I feel the effects, and how long would they last for?
Great question. Most people start feeling the effects within a few hours to a day. The benefits can last for about a week, sometimes even longer, depending on your body and lifestyle. Perfect timing for your birthday celebration. Would you like to book an appointment?
Not quite yet. I have a few more questions. So you're saying that one would give me a little bit more energy, but what kind of like skin treatments do you have, especially like for my face?
Gotcha. For your skin, especially the face, we offer neuromodulator injections like Botox or Dysport. They can smooth out fine lines and give you a refreshed look. We also have the Radiance IV infusion that targets skin elasticity and brightness. Interested in hearing more about either of these?
Yeah, just can you tell me a little bit more about the injections?
Sure thing. Neuromodulator injections like Botox, or Dysport I work by relaxing facial muscles. Hey, Sean,
Okay.
just checking in to see if you're still there.
Yeah, I'm
Let me
still
know
there.
if you
Just
want more
maybe.
info on those injections or anything else.
Sure. So you said that I
Hey,
can get those
Sean,
2
just checking in.
injections and then that vitamin injection also. How much would all 3 of those cost?
All right. So for the neuromodulator injections, the price can vary depending on the area treated. The Radiance I4 infusion is $269.99. If you want a wellness shot like Methyl B12 Pro for energy, that's $62.99. Would you like to book an appointment or need more info?
So what would the total cost for all that be?
All right. So if you go for the Radiance IV infusion and the Methyl B12 Pro shot, that would be a total of $332.98. The neuromodulator injections would be extra, depending on what areas you want to treat. Want to set up an appointment or chat more about it?
Yeah, I guess I'll come in for the appointment. So yeah, like my birthday is on Saturday, so I'd like to get this done as soon as possible. Do you guys have like tomorrow around 12 or 1 o'clock?
Let's see. We can definitely try to fit you in tomorrow. How does 1 o'clock sound? That way, you'll be
Yeah,
all
1
set
o'clock.
for your birthday weekend.
1 o'clock works for me. And whereabouts are you guys located again?
Awesome. We've got you down for 1 o'clock tomorrow. We're located in Halifax, Canada. You'll get all the details in your confirmation email. Speaking of which, could you give me your email to make sure we send it to the right place?
All right, my name is my name's Sean Brown. My email address is sbrown@gmail.com, and my phone number is 416-555-2468.
Thanks, Sean. Just to confirm, your email is sbrown@gmail.com. Is that right?
That's right.
Perfect. And your phone number is 416-555.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the number again?
Hey, Sean. Just making sure.
Wi-Fi calling's killing her.
Hey, Allison, did you get the
All
number
right,
again?
Sean. Your phone.
Allison, can you
Your phone
hear
number is
us?
41.
Oh, don't worry, let it go, let it go.
Yes, I can hear you. Just making sure I've got everything right. Your phone number is 416-555-2468. Is that correct?
That's correct, Allison.
Great. You're all set for tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Keep an eye on your email for the confirmation, and remember to check your spam folder just in case. If
Actually,
you
I
have
have
any
one
other
last
questions
question.
or need
I have
to
one last
change any,
question, Allison. Do I need to do anything, like any preparation before I come at all?
not much prep needed. Just make sure you're well hydrated and ready to relax.
And sorry, one last question too. What forms of payment do you guys accept?
No worries. We accept cash, credit cards, and debit cards.
Perfect.
Awesome. If you think of anything else, just give us a shout.
All right, thanks, Allison. See you tomorrow.
All right, stop the share screen because it's murdering
Yeah,
the
it's
Wi-Fi right
it
now.
is.
So Manny, aside from the confluence of issues with the connectivity and the Wi-Fi, what do you think about what she was saying?
And she did a very good job. I
Are
feel like,
those,
like
those the
I-
things that your team is saying when you're on the phone?
yeah, it's pretty accurate. That's pretty much how most of my calls go.
Okay, good.
Okay. So obviously what we could do is like, what kind of system do you guys use to like track your appointments? Like you have a CRM or anything like that? Or your Jane app, right?
Yeah, we have Jane app.
Okay, yeah.
So right now, we have a guy from the States who's looking at connecting our voice agents to Jane through their API. Jane's a little bit closed off through their API though, so we have to see about that. But we understand that Jane integrates with Google Calendar. Is that right?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So with that right away, if Jane can integrate with Google Calendar, these agents can put appointments directly onto any Google Calendar. So for us, that means even if Jane says no to direct API connection, we can still get appointments onto the calendar that'll be reflected inside of Jane, no matter what. So
Okay.
for us, and because we're Canadians, right? So Canadian IT teams, they're generally very closed off. They don't want to share connections. They don't want to do APIs, any of that stuff. So we're constantly having to figure out, okay, how do we take these old legacy systems, connect them into this new hot AI? And the only way to do that is to integrate with systems that they are happy or safe with integrating in, and Google's one of them. So getting our agents connected with Google is no problem. Another question though, and it's probably going to be more important, is when would you think that the call would need to be escalated to one of the girls or yourself? Like, when is it like, oh, okay, this question should probably go towards one of the nurses or men?
That's a good question.
So just for context, we've worked with other clinics, and a situation in which they brought up about that would be, let's say you administered a treatment and the person got a rash after or something like that, right? And they'd call back immediately. They'd say, hey, I want to speak to someone right away. Like that would be kind of a case where you'd want that to happen, right?
Yes. Side effects, definitely. But other than that, like if there was like no other medical emergency.
So yeah, predominantly just medical emergency. Gotcha.
Well, but the thing is, we're going to think carefully because we don't want to keep them on the phone if they're having a real medical emergency. All of the agents we're building for clinics are going to be saying, hey, if you're having a real problem, hang up the phone right now, call 911.
Right.
So we're going to be taking best practices from the other clinic agents and sort of putting together a must-have template for all of our clinics where they must be having compliant language right off the bat, letting everyone know that these calls are reported for quality assurance, training, and audit purposes, as well as compliance, as you saw there. But just there's going to be certain things that have to happen, like call escalation once a medical emergency that might have been something that happened at the clinic needs to go to one of the doctors or nurses, or the language where it's like, if you're having a serious issue, hang up the phone, call 911. So we're working with all of the clinics to try and figure that out because you're all really like feel like that might be what you need to do, or that would be the best case or best practices. Everyone's sort of feeling that out. We're going to come up with a top 10, this needs to happen in your voice agent, and everyone's going to get that. So you're coming on board with us, you're basically coming on board with the rest of the clinics that are getting voice agents, and we're taking the best of the best and pretty much putting them all into like the standard default settings for the agents, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And I think you're right. If it's like a serious medical emergency, they can go to 911 for sure. But if it's like something minor, like you said, like a rash, like you don't need to call 911 for that. Then it can just be escalated to myself or one of the nurses.
There you go. So that right there is what we call conversation logic. And within the context of escalations, we would want to identify those conditions where the call should get escalated. And that's something we would do in the design workshop when we get closer. So from today, the voice today was, I don't know why she sounded like a mouse, but we're going to give you a menu of voices, or at least you're going to tell us how do you want us to how to sound. You want us to sound older, younger, a little bit more forward, a little bit more reserved. You can give us a voice for Scarlett Johansson if you want, and we can make her talk like that. I use that as a joke because Scarlett Johansson is notorious for suing companies that use her voice because it's so hot. But we can do any voice that you want. So that, her conversation logic and the conditions for escalation, as well as what we call the post-call reports, where after each call, there's going to be certain fields of data that get populated in your CRM, and then it's going to get emailed out to the team, the ladies and yourself, saying, hey, this person called, this is what they were talking about, and this is the sort of treatments that they were looking at. And those pieces of information, those are highly sensitive pieces of information. We got to make sure everything is security, privacy, all that stuff, that's all covered. But we just want to make sure that those pieces of information you guys get, easy snapshot. I know what this person needs. I know what they want. You don't have to listen to a voicemail or have a conversation. You just know what's going on as soon as they come to the office. In addition, we can have the agent put together advice or what would be, guidance for the ladies, for the nurses, for yourself, depending on the type of call, saying things like, hey, maybe you should follow up with this person immediately. It sounds like they might need some help. Or, this is just a run-of-the-mill NAD plus injection that they might want, or what have you. You guys are going to be able to design all of those conditions that will train into her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good. So from here, brother, we really, I guess we just wait out the clock for when you guys are ready on your end. But I want from now until then for us to sort of pick away at little things that we can do in the meantime. Because once we build an agent, she doesn't go away. She doesn't get deleted or anything. She just basically sits in the stable until she's ready to go. And we're not going to be like, sign contracts, send this money. We know how hard it is for AI to get adopted in Canada. So we are very fluid with the onboarding process, the administration, stuff like that. So we'll have her humming in the background. But in the meantime, when you're going through your process and your workflow, I just want you to pay attention to things that you can think of that say, hey, you know what? Maybe the AI agent will be better off doing this. Maybe it would be better to have another round of qualification questions once this person, meets certain conditions on the phone call. So say if someone wanted a particular shot and you said, well, if you're getting that particular shot, we're going to need to know this, that, and this from you in terms of medical stuff, so that there's no interference or consequence that we don't want happening, so on and so forth. So that conversation logic and that design, that's something that we're asking the doctors and the clinics to be very, pay attention to what it is that you're doing, because we can literally build that in the agent's logic. Okay, this is some Star Trek stuff, man. So it's everything. And the thing about her, when we build her, she's not gonna go away. She doesn't quit. She sits there and does work until you don't want her to work no more. And I can tell you right now, as soon as she starts working, you never want her to stop.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for us on our end. What I'll do is I'll put together the service agreement. You can look at that. I'll put together the quotation. You can look at that, and you can just sit with that, ruminate on it, plan your budget. But just know, when you work with us, it's an open door policy. When you want to work with us, great. When you don't, you leave. We don't hold anyone to contracts or anything like that. You're going to have other AI teams say, hey, you're with us for 5 years. We don't do that because we know it doesn't work. Even the transit systems in municipalities that we work with, I tell them, hey, if you don't want to work with us, no problem. Good luck finding another team how to work like this, though, 100%. So yeah. It's more of the relationship we're going to build. And at some point in time, we're going to have to do a roadshow around Canada, because we're getting people asking if we can come visit them at the clinic. And they're not very used to having such a remote environment. So, we might end up coming down. I was talking to are you guys in Nova Scotia?
Yeah, we're in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Brother, I was just sitting down with a woman who lives in Halifax trying to figure out how we can go fishing out there. So if you guys got to go fishing, you might see me in the flesh.
All right, brother. Sounds great.
All right, so we'll put together some of those documents for you so that you can look at. We'll also be getting phone numbers for agents we'll be deploying over the next couple months that you can call and text and maybe get, hey, I want mine to do that. Hey, I want mine to do that. Another thing that we're going to be thinking about is all the agents that we build, because you're going to be, one of the first adopting this in the province, pretty much in the country, other doctors, other clinics, they might call your agent just to see what it looks like or sounds like. So a plan that we have is if the agent senses that it's speaking to a business owner, it can then say, hey, do you want to speak to the peak demand team? Do you want to explore voice solutions? And we're going to be able to put together a program where the clinics will start to get paid for other clinics getting agents after they talk to theirs. So it's like a referral program that your agent's going to have built in.
Sweet.
But we're working on that. So that's our more of our grander plans, but you'll be seeing that over the next year. But in the meantime, man, just come up with ideas. The more ideas you have, the more powerful your agent, and then we just build a roadmap to build them.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'll everything that I do now, I try to think, how can I outsource it now? I'll just try to outsource it to the AI.
Yeah, it's all going to be AI-ified by the end of this year, brother. Like this, humans doing work is becoming a story of the past. It's pretty much going to be, how can we push off as many automations and tasks to these agents as possible while you guys are taking care of patients, coming up with creative ideas for marketing, which is another thing that you're going to think about, because now we don't just have someone taking your inbound calls. She'll be able to call people that put in their information into your Facebook or Meta ad within 10 seconds. So that's another thing that we can think about. But we got to jot all these things down in the design workshop or when we put it together.
One quick question I did have though, on the website it says derma fillers coming soon. You guys currently don't do that right now, and you plan to do it in the future?
Yeah, we're planning to do it early June.
June? Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
And then we're going to add other services as well later in the summer when we open up the new location.
And lashes, stuff like that.
Not so much lashes, but just other micro needling, PRP,
Gotcha.
Things like that.
Okay. Cool.
So that when we get closer and you guys are like, hey, like we got new materials, we wanted to know this, that, and this, we'll do a big context dump in the design workshop and see, okay, what does she need to know? Pricing, do you have any special offers if they come in this week? Like we can do all sorts of funny stuff where she can be acting as a sales agent in addition to just regular customer service. So if you have ideas for upsells or packages or special offers, like that's really where these things shine, because they don't feel like, oh, if I push too hard on the sale, I might lose a customer. They're going to push and they're probably going to get the customer because they have no feelings. They have no fear,
Yes.
And when you guys do move into your new space, is it just Stephanie and Michelle going to be the two nurses, or are you guys expanding the team?
We'll be expanding the team.
Nice. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so then we might want to think about if they are going to have their own individual phone numbers, call routing. So if someone needs to speak to Stephanie, someone needs to speak to one of the new girls for whatever reason, you can have it so the agent will be able to route the calls to them if it's meeting the conditions for routing. So let's say it's a person that they know, or say it's a family member. I want to speak to Stephanie. Okay, we'll route the call. But if this is a random guy off the road that just wants to speak to her for no reason, then the call can't get routed. So there's a lot of nitpicky things that we think about when we put those conditions together, but just keep it humming in the back of your mind until we get there. And at that point in time, you're going to have so many ideas. You're going to be like, what can't she do? So good, man.
It's awesome.
That's it, brother.
Any plans for the long weekend?
Nope. Working.
I hear you.
That's it. That's all we're gonna be doing too, man. Robots and doctors for the next 2 years.
Yeah. All right, Manny. Well, thanks for your time. Thanks for coming by. If you have any questions, any ideas, feel free to just send it over. If you ever wanted to show Stephanie or Michelle the same agent and have them talk to it, and just for them to get a feel, just let us know. We could send you over a number, and you guys will be able to test it.
What I'll do is I'll get a number for her so you guys can test her in the meantime, and then I'll send all the paperwork over. You can read everything. It's very straightforward. We literally cancel whenever you want. The only thing that we ask is don't blame us if she says something wrong. That's why we train the shit out of her to start. So to minimize that as much as we can, but generally, the paper is very, very la-di-da. It's talking about sustainability, talking about acts of God. Like any other service contract, there's no terms, there's no time. So we try to make it very easy. You'll probably see all of that, if not at the end of this week, then early next week, and then you guys can get off to having a conversation. And I'm very positive once the ladies start talking to her, they're going to come up with ideas too. Just ask them, we write them down. Just write them down somewhere. Okay?
Okay.
All All right, Manny. Have a good weekend, man. See
See
ya.
you, brother.
All right, you two guys. Catch you later. Bye.
Okay, so now we have Dr. Dundak.
3:30.
Oh, 3:30, okay. We gotta sort out